Look at that. Looks like we got a roundhouse or turntable. Let's see if we can get a closer look. Eerie. Ooh. Maybe from the Lackawanna. Let's take a little walk around here before it starts getting dark. And the batteries to my camcorder are dying out. So we're gonna quickly zone through this. Even though I have the long-lasting battery, but that trip sucked out some juice. Let me see if I can get close up on his yard. This looks like it's an E8. Radio equipped. It's a 6-axle engine. Looks like it has steam generated details. Actually, this is my first time looking at a locomotive with steam generated details. Actually, in person. And I'm not talking about the model size, but the live size. Let me see if I can get close about his yard. They might tell me I'm not permitted to go back here, but I'm gonna try to get it anyway. $49.12, Metro North 4912. Let's see what we got over here. See if we can see the number on that Jeep. 4100. And the one down there is 4216. Okay, I took 4216 to Springfield a couple of months ago, back over the summer. Now, if you ever listen to these F40s, these Metro North F40s, specifically Metro North F40s, you listen to the head end power sound. Typically, you'll hear a radiator sound, well, not a radiator sound, a fan sound that just constantly stays in full RPMs. But apparently, hold on, let me pause. My phone is ringing. Somebody want to call me now at all times. But typically what you would hear is the sound of that radiator going, or that radiator fan turning all the time. And I believe that is typically powered by a hydraulic fan. Now in this case, it's still running, but you don't hear it like you typically would. I believe they did some modifications on this F40. I'm talking about specifically 4912. Now, if I can, I'll add in a quick snippet of the of when I was at Hoboken Terminal, where I was recording 4908. I don't know how clear it's going to sound, but considering the fact that it's so loud, I don't know if you're going to actually be able to hear the fan. But if I can add that in, you'll tell that you can actually hear it compared to how this one sounds. I believe they're doing modifications. I guess they're trying to make them quieter. Not too sure. And also the bell does not sound the same as when I initially recorded this locomotive pulling into Suffern back in 2015. Maybe I can go a little further, get a little better image. Okay, so these locomotives have blue flag protection, meaning that they're either being inspected or being worked on, meaning that they cannot be operated, they cannot be moved or coupled to. I believe trains are not supposed to even operate on the adjacent track with blue flag protection. How do I know this? Because I've done it. And I'm talking about blue signal protection. So, okay, apparently they got these shut down. Which is also another reason why they look so much cleaner. One thing you'll notice about see if I get that image. That's a beautiful image right there. The one thing you notice about older EMD locomotives, and even some General Electric locomotives, is when they're in the winter time, you'll notice that the locomotive will get filthy. It looks all kinds of black and whatnot. And a lot of people, oh wow, look at what we got here. I didn't even see that one. Oh, okay, I didn't see this. See, I've only filmed one of these locomotives, and that was back in 2016. I'm not gonna get close to it. I don't want them to come and try to give me a hard time telling my black ass I can't film here. So I'm gonna go out here and just go around the perimeter. So this is a Metro North GP40. I filmed one of these back in early 2016. And for whatever reason, these locomotives are extremely rare and very difficult to find operating on the main line. 4906. As you see, the back of it does not have the flared radiator grills like the New Jersey Transit GP40. I'd love to actually be able to film some more of these, but I don't know why they're so scarce. And I don't know what goes beyond that that limit over there. Then we got 4216. That was a GP40 that I rode back over the summer when I rode the Raritan Valley line, which that's an interesting line also. I think this is actually not too far from Bear Mountain. Interesting trip. Now we're gonna get the hell out of here. There's another one I forgot to film right alongside the Metro North F40. NJT GP40 4209. And just as a side note, I'm starting to wonder, I'm curious to know, let me see something. What do they got hooked up here? They got air hooked up on this thing? Yeah, they do. That's how they're keeping the brakes applied. So they got their own air generating station somewhere, an air compressor. So what I'm wondering, because there was some rumor floating around, I think it's actually somebody who lives in this area, a kid of some sort, who stated that the 4100s series of the GP40s, this one here, that these were going to be taken out of passenger service and put strictly into work train service. Now, from what I've seen, this is still in passenger service, because I've actually recorded one that was out of passenger service and into work extra service. The modification that have been made on those is that the ditch lights, instead of it being under the platform, the ditch lights are located above the platform on the walkway. Also, the rear component of the locomotive where the head-end power is supposed to go, or the generator I should say, how it has the radiator cooling vents or grills, those grills have been welded shut. It's a beautiful image. So those locomotives are no longer in, or some of them I should say, are no longer in passenger service. But what I'm wondering with these GP40s, because depending on whether New Jersey Transit picks up more of these newer ALP 45 DPs, they're probably, if they don't phase these all into the work service, I wouldn't be surprised if Metro North would have picked this stuff up and actually repaint them in this paint scheme here. Because I know the history behind some of these locomotives here, especially these F40s. They were former Amtrak F40s, purchased by Metro North, and you can hear that head-end power is insanely loud. That thing is ridiculously loud. My God. was added on when it was purchased from Amtrak. Now I don't know whether it was initially in the Jersey Transit F40, then bought by Metro North. I'm not sure how that went, but I know at one point these were owned by Amtrak. So like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Metro North might end up buying those locomotives, those GP40s, and I'm talking about the 4200 series, and converting them to their passenger service, because this is all Metro North territory. If I'm not mistaken, Metro North owns this entire line, I believe up into Suffern and west of Suffern. Is it east or west? I'm not sure. But anyhow, let me get ready to make my way back to the platform. I think this is an old Outco locomotive. I don't know. I believe it is. I don't know whether it's still operational. I don't know nothing about these locomotives. Just take a quick video of it. Hold on one second. Give me a second. Let me just record this really fast. An approach signal. Okay, so there's an approach going back down that way. And this signal, this camcorder is not focusing well at night. Let's see if I get it to focus at night. And there's another signal that keeps lighting up. It goes from red to yellow, but then it just stops illuminating altogether. I don't know what that's about, and I would like to know what's beyond this yard, this Metro North yard. Need to get close to this motherfucker. Sounds like it's on low idle. That's the first I've ever heard it sounding like that. Actually sounds pretty damn creepy when you think about it. Hold on one second.
Hey, take care.
You too. They got a clear signal.